All right, ready to roll.
Okay, everybody, we're here for part 2 with Heather Rann from Lost Soul Spiritual Services. We were cut off during a story she was talking about, and we'll just continue on from there.
Demons.
It was the demons.
Yeah. They took the Wi-Fi and just shut her down on us.
They did. They have the electrical connections to do that.
I know.
So I was actually talking about, and I don't even think I brought it up right away, but elementals was really the story I was talking about, because I think you guys asked me about what are some of the, creatures that I've seen or whatever. So I did dig this up. I don't know if you can see that or not.
I see two scary eyes. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow.
So that is the first time I saw an elemental. It was at my friend's house, and I was helping her with her house, and I was zooming in on a human spirit, trying to figure out what his deal was. And behind him, I saw that, and I didn't know what it was at first. Had to do a little bit of research and that type of thing. It was really short to the ground, and it was really kind of scary looking with the sharp teeth and everything. So, but apparently they're very ancient, and so they look almost prehistoric. They look very primitive, and they can look really scary. But what their job is to fix the land and be stewards of the land. So if someone's dumping toxic chemicals or clear cutting and stuff like that, then their goal is to negate all that negativity and to try and make it more peaceful and positive again, and have nature come back in full force, right? So they get kind of angry sometimes when people are intentionally hurting the land. So in that case, I think there was a little bit of tree cutting going on, not a lot. They may have been there for quite some time, long before she bought the house. So anyways, basically what I did was I gave them advice to, go out and plant some trees and kind of almost make offerings to the land, that type of thing, to make them happy and try to, put back what was taken away, basically. So so that's, I was thinking maybe by showing that photo, maybe we'd have like a whole glitch again and it would just stop. that was my test, just to see what.
So far, so good.
I know.
Didn't you get a similar type of reading by the tree in my backyard that time? Remember that along the tree line?
The tree in your backyard. There was a Native American back there, and there was also kind of a male spirit who was really dark, and the Native American was telling me that he'd been around for a long time, and he had committed atrocities against the Native people and that your house backs onto Native territory and land.
You can walk through the woods right to Memberton from where I am.
Yeah. So that guy was a bad guy, and he was kind of back where that tree was. Yeah. Okay. It wasn't elemental. He was human at one time, but he's gone rogue. Like, he's not a good guy.
So Doug, I'm not going to your house anymore, Doug.
That's we'll have a fire in the backyard this summer.
Yeah. I'll watch from the road.
I do want to address, you had a member who asked a question on your page, Irma Williams, and she had a couple questions. She wanted to know the scariest place that I've cleansed. So that was a hard question. She really made me think, because I've gone to quite a few different places. I've been as far as St. John and, up to Sydney, or actually Glace Bay, and down as far as Halifax and Peggy's Cove. So I had a lot to kind of choose from. I had to sit and think about it. So I have to say number one would probably be my house, because of all the activity that was here for years and years and years, when, before I figured out how to clear it. Because that's probably the scariest thing, is living in a place and, not being safe or feeling safe, and not sleeping well at night, or, that kind of thing, and just being scared all the time. So that's probably the number one. And then I have to say the second one that really kind of freaked me out, and Doug, you're going to know what I'm talking about, it was the last time I was up in Cape Breton and we did that investigation. That one creeped me out. It really, because there was so much physical activity going on, like the car was being moved, and more than one person was being touched and hit or whatever. And he was really dark. And if I remember correctly, I had some physical sensations too as well. And he was just going to town picking on all of us, right?
Was that house in the bay? Glace Bay?
No, that's in Sydney.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a house in Glace Bay. I wasn't sure if you went to the one in Sydney.
I did do a couple in Glace Bay.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, the one we did in the basement.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about now. You could just say it's my house.
Yeah.
I was really confused. I was like, hang on a minute. Is this my house or is this?
Yeah, that was really freaky. That was really probably the most physically active investigation that I've done.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
It was. Yeah. We were getting lots of words, and he was saying lots of things, and then I think he kept hitting you, like you kept getting pinched and poked, and yeah.
That
nice.
that SLS camera too. I'm not like the jury's still out for me on those things, but
yeah,
to see that in my own house, there was nothing. It was pointing at the dryer, so there's not like there's a human shape there where it could have been, something hanging up on a line, or there was none of that stuff in the basement. Actually, no, it was set up by the dryer. It was pointing towards the wall, correct? Yeah, there was nothing there.
Yeah,
so there was no jackets. There was no benches, nothing. So what could have made this stick figure show up and then, raise your hand, and it would raise its hand, and it would do all this sort of stuff, right? It was pretty crazy to see it actually in action.
Yeah.
So.
And then it was giving Amanda a headache, and it made somebody else sick. I shouldn't say it, he, and getting quite physical with you. Yeah.
No, yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I remember it was on my forearm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that happened to me twice so far. Now, remember the DeGan house at the Fortress? I had to leave there. Oh my God, I was sick to my stomach. I don't know what was going on in there.
Oh, that was
terrible.
Was that the night that everybody started getting all, or was that somewhere else? Oh no, the bakery.
Yeah, that was Brandon in the bakery. Remember, Brandon was like, he thought he was going to have to go home.
He almost had to leave. Yeah. That was weird though. It all got, I don't know, even the guests that were with us, everyone started to it didn't feel right. Nothing was happening. There was no, like, you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't see anything. It was just all of a sudden, it was just this, I don't know, darkness, if you want to call it.
Like that's the night that I first started going, okay, Doug is sensitive. And you probably are sensitive, because you came up, you went down to the gate there, down to the water, and you came bolting up, and you said, something's following me, something's on my back. And you came in and you were just like, I can't get it off my back.
No, it was just this weird, heavy feeling that I picked up outside. And I mean, it could be anything, right? It could be the environment that you're in. You're at the Fortress of Lewisburg. You're at this, but I've been there so many times that's never happened before, right? Like, I feel like it's so easy for me now to go out there and do an investigation. I usually don't get too scared. I usually don't get, so it's just, it's, I don't know how to explain that night, but I remember coming into the room and just saying, I remember sitting on the bench in the DeGan house and having to almost put my head down between my knees. I thought I was going to be sick. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and we had Sharon there, my other medium friend, and she came over to me, and I don't know if you know this or not, but she came over to me and she whispered, she goes, he does have something on his back. He's got an attachment on his back. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, I don't want to scare him. And so she went back over to you and asked if it'd be okay if she kind of worked on you and removed some stuff from you, and you were okay with it. So yeah.
Well, that kind of leads into Irma's next question, is how do you protect yourself from that stuff, right? Because I didn't know how to do it.
Yes.
And you guys walked me through it in the DeGan house. That was my first experience with it, right? So you can explain to her how you do it, I guess. And
good segue.
Yeah, not bad, eh? The time Doug almost threw up in the DeGan house.
So when I go somewhere where I'm going to clear a house or do an investigation, I want to communicate with spirits. I do a whole process where I open up my chakras, I ground. I also tether myself up to the universe as well. And then also with that, there's white light that I pull from there, and it's kind of like a bubble of white light, and it kind of comes down and around me, and it creates a bubble of protection. So that's basic. That's what I do for as an opening for every reading, for every house clearing I do. Sometimes if I'm feeling like there's more danger to me, like at Dorchester, I decided to experiment in Dorchester the first time we were there, I believe. Yes. Everyone else was off investigating as a group, I think by themselves, well, without me. I went off by myself and I went into death row, which I didn't know at the time was death row, honestly. But I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go stand in the shower because I'm sure there's bad stuff that happened in showers. You know, people fights or people being shanked, maybe, I don't know. So I stood in the shower, complete ink blackness, couldn't see a thing, and I stood there and just to see if something would happen, you know, if I'd have an experience being alone by myself. And I heard a male voice say, "I've got you now." And for a quick moment I was like, oh crap. And then I kind of recovered and actually asked for extra protection in that moment. So I asked for my guides, and then I also did a bubble of gold light. Gold is even more protective than white light. And I stood there for a few minutes. I didn't leave. I just stood there and I just kind of waited to see if something was going to happen, if I was going to get poked or anything like that, and nothing happened. So it was a good test to kind of see that, you know, these measures actually work, and that, you know, nothing's going to try and jump me or anything like that, right? So and then a lot of times if I need extra help with anything that's going on in my life, or if I want to try and protect family members and that type of thing, I will call in Archangel Michael. This kind of, that's my guides, and Archangel Michael are my go-tos for, you know, heavy duty kind of protection, right?
Mhm.
And then also, now that I have my house clear, I have an intention set here at my house that no spirits are allowed here, and my closed sign is out, so they can't just show up and try to, you know, engage with me. And then every once in a while, if I feel like there's a spirit coming in, or attempting to kind of come onto the property or into the house, and I'll kind of sense it, like something will feel off or it'll feel heavier or that kind of thing. Then I will do a mental, in my mind, I will put a protective bubble around the house and the property and everything, and set that intention that it's a safe space and nobody's allowed to kind of come in. Nobody dead
Mhm.
anyways.
Hmm.
So there's a few different things I do. I don't do them all the time, but the white light one is the one I do the most. Yeah.
So the one that you guys were getting me to do in the DeGan house was to picture my feet growing into the floor,
Mhm.
something like that, with roots or something, and picture them
Mhm.
stretching down into the earth. Or I can't quite remember exactly what it was,
Yeah.
but it was something similar to that, right?
Yeah, so that's grounding. So that's part of what I do with my opening. When I open my chakras, I also ground to the earth. So basically, especially if someone's really high vibrational, or they're really in their head, or they're anxious or upset or anything like that, or if you feel like you have a lot of negative energy, you can kind of, what I do is I bring in white light through my crown and then envision the white light kind of filtering down through my body and then out my feet. So that's supposed to, and I do the roots too, going down into the earth. So that grounds my energy. So it keeps me from being too up high and too in my head, so to speak. Yeah, so that if you're ever feeling anxious, and anybody out there, if they're ever feeling anxious or upset about anything, and they need to calm down, that's a really good way to do it, to envision tree roots coming out of your feet and grounding that way. Another good way is just to go out into nature. And it's getting warmer now, so you can do that. A really good way is earthing. So just go out in your bare feet, or, you know, go out into nature and, you know, touch a tree, or, you know, sit in a park or something like that to kind of ground your energy and to reset you.
Yeah, it's outdoor ghost hunting season now. Just about.
Just
Yeah.
about.
We
Yay.
gotta hit it before the bugs come.
Yeah,
Me and
really.
Jason are like sitting on our hands. We don't know what to do. We're like, oh my God, where are we gonna go next? Where are we gonna go next?
Yeah.
The snow is
Wow.
mountain. The snow is mountain.
It's pretty much all gone now.
Yeah, I know. Today
Yeah.
pretty much, was like
It was
the final
rain.
straw for it. Mhm.
Yeah. Rain, more rain.
So why don't you tell us about your little business that you opened up with Charlene? Yeah, Charlene.
Yeah. So over the last, I don't know, year or two, I've had a few people from other places, as in, Cape Breton region, who wanted to come down and get a reading with me. My house isn't really conducive to that. I have dogs and cats and kids and, a lot of stuff going on here. So it's hard to find a quiet space where, and keep somebody out and have some peace and quiet. And then too, the second part of that is that now that my house is clear, I don't really want to bring, anyone who might have some attachments or things like that into it and have that energy kind of just jump off here, right? Um, I call them hitchhikers. So,
Mhm.
if I go out somewhere, it's like to investigation or something, and then, and figure out, oh, hey, you know what, I have somebody, a dead person attached to me, then I think of it as hitchhiking. They just kind of jump on and then they jump off wherever they want to, or, leave in a day or two sometimes. But so I really needed a space just to, have some peace and quiet and something that's, people can come and go and so we decided, after looking for quite some time, I think we were looking for at least 6 months, and it's really hard to find something that's cost effective and, isn't too big or isn't too small. So we kind of jumped on this location. It's a small house, very small bungalow. It's very cozy. But it has a few different rooms in it. So Charlene's a Reiki master. She does attachment removals from people and things like that. And she helps out with the cases. She comes on some of them with me to remove attachments from people and locations. Not the same as what I do. We're doing very different things. When I say that, she deals a lot with ley lines. So people may have ley lines through their house and their backyards, that type of thing. Different kind of energies like that. So we have the spot in Westville. We each have our own little room we work out of, and then there's there's a front room and a main kind of a living room, if you will. We have a couch and some chairs in it and that, and she can do some meditations and some, teach workshops and things like that. So it's a cute spot, and it's a good place to kind of get away to and, hang out sometimes. We just go there and kind of have meetings and just hang out. And so yeah, so we're lucky so far, that
Mhm.
it's been working out well. So fingers crossed that, it kind of continues that way. So now I'm able to, people can just show up there from wherever, right? So I'm getting people from all over who are wanting to kind of, come in and either have a reading or I've had a few people message for removals because they believe they have things attached to them, that type of thing. So yeah, it's good.
Cool.
It's yeah.
Yeah,
Gives
the
me a
first time
home
I met
base
her,
too for investigations.
the
Work
first
out
time I
of.
met her was at I met her at the Miners Museum. You guys can get into the cage, and I remember her saying,
Yeah.
"I don't like the cage." She
Yeah.
didn't like the cage. I remember that.
That's where all the good stuff
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But
Mhm.
that's not, she doesn't think of that as good stuff. See,
No.
No.
I like the dark and creepy and
Mhm.
spooky stuff, and she's not
Yeah.
really that into it. A couple times we did Stadacona Museum on the Stadacona base in Halifax. We went there, and there was a soldier that was in the attic who had been wounded, and he was attached to a bed frame which he had been sick in. And I don't know if you guys know the history of that, but it was during the Halifax explosion, they turned into a hospital, and they brought up nurses and doctors from the States to work there, and it's called the Massachusetts Hospital. And so the top floor was full of wounded soldiers that were helping out and things like that, and well, wounded people. But so there was a soldier up there, and he had been injured and he was still stuck there anyways. He just wanted to leave. So she was up there with me, and I he was ready to cross over. So in this very cramped spaces up there, and I wasn't even thinking about it. But when I had him start walking towards the portal, he actually walked right through her space where she was standing. And she's standing there, and all of a sudden she's like, wait, what just happened? She said, I feel all tingly. I feel really weird. And she goes, did he just hug me? And I said, I think something happened. And I said, I think he kind of walked through you when he was leaving to go to the door. Anyways, oh my God.
Wow.
She didn't stop talking about that for a couple months. So, and I was just kind of giggling. I'm like, I didn't mean to do it, but it's a really cool experiment for me now. If I want to know that spirits actually, walk to the door, and I just kind of go, can you just stand over there for a minute? And she goes, what are you doing? Are you walking a spirit through me again? I have a lot of fun with that. She's going to see this video and she's going to be like, ah. So we do very different things. She's very much about positive energy and good energies, and she's helping a lot of people right now with their PTSD and removing that type of energy from people and stuff like that. So she's very positive.
Excellent.
I mean, she's interested in this whole side of it, right? But
Mhm.
the scarier stuff, she's not on board with the stuff like I am, the creepier stuff. So it's a good balance, though. We really balance each other out.
Oh my
Awesome.
God, creepy's the best.
I know, right? It is.
You have a sign that says my house is closed. I have one that says come on in. Pull up a chair.
I found that out. Holy smokes. That was crazy.
Yeah. No, we got a lot of cool spots coming up. Hopefully we'll get to them this summer. And you got to come down for them, because there's a couple I can't mention on here because people steal our spots. Television people.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it, as the weeks go on. But there's a couple of really cool spots that I'd like to see what you can do while we're doing our stuff too. And of course, you guys have the same gear we have too. Actually, I'm buying something off of you.
I know. I meant to bring it in here with me, and I was going to show you. I was like, look, it's in the kitchen.
I can't wait to get that.
Well, I'm hoping to come up next month. I mean, the weather's getting good enough to be able to travel more. So,
well, I'll reach out to the two guys that I know who want their house done. But see,
Yeah,
COVID shuts everything down, right? Like do you know what I mean? So we'd have to play it all by ear. But no, like I said, we got busy summer. We were talking to the Fortress, and they're looking for maybe towards the end of August for an overnight, depending on public health measures and all that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah, updated.
Yeah,
Cool,
so
cool.
I mean, if I come up next month, we need to get out somewhere.
For sure.
Yeah.
We got a really cool project coming up regarding Broughton, and you guys might want to jump in on that. You're more than welcome to. We're going to be working. Hopefully, we're going to be working with John Manley that we had on here at the regional library. And if everything works out, we're going to have someone with him too, and we're going to shoot a whole. I don't know, not a documentary per se, but it's going to be good.
Like a mini one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're going to go to a couple different spots, and there's a new spot we've never been to. We know someone who knows where it's at, but we have to get there, and we have to get permission to get there. So I'm working on that, and hopefully we get the okay, because it sounds pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so if you guys,
that sounds good.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come. It'd be awesome to have you.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you go to the graveyard in Broughton too. That'd be pretty cool. Not many people even know where that is. So to take Heather out there would be
before we go there, Doug, we got to take her to Hardwood Hill Cemetery.
Oh, of course. 100%.
That's where we're starting. We're gonna march you up to Horace Dixon Mayhew's gravesite, and that's where we're gonna start. And we'll see if we can solve the mystery. Maybe.
Is that out in Broughton, or where's that?
It's Broughton.
No, it's in Sydney.
Is it?
Hardwood Hill's like 45 seconds from my house.
Okay.
Broughton's about a 12 to 15 minute drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to see what I do pick up at Broughton. Just because I'm sure there's residual energy of the town and what was there, but then hopefully there's spirit energy as well.
Yeah.
Well, we
So
got
there's
some
gonna be
pretty good
different
EVPs
layers,
out
I
there.
think.
Oh,
What's
we've
that?
gotten.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The Doug, one of the first ones we got, I think, was the Soldier EVP.
Oh, the Soldier one was incredible.
Yeah.
I still
Oh
go
my
back and listen to
God.
that one.
Yeah,
So good.
I think that's one of our best.
Mhm.
A man's voice, and he says, "I was a soldier." Oh, I can't remember what we asked, but that was the response we got.
I think it was, what did you used to do here, or what was your job here, or something like that? And
Yeah,
he said, I was a soldier. And it came,
Yeah,
and that was on the radio spirit box.
yeah.
It wasn't echo box or nothing. It was just,
No,
Oh.
and it so clear too, right? Oh my
And
God, that was crazy.
you look at the pictures from that era, and it's World War I, and they're getting ready to go to war, and there's just lines of soldiers right through where the Crown Hotel was. They're just
Okay.
up down the street, right? So it was pretty
Wow.
crazy with activity then.
Mhm.
The town that almost was.
There's that place, and I won't name it, but there's that place in Loch Lomond I'd like to take Heather to too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
You know what I'm
You're gonna
talking
be
about.
busy. Holy smokes.
No, Heather,
I'm
wanted-
like-
Stay for a week.
I'm vibrating in my seat now, thinking about the place in Loch Lomond and bringing Heather to the place in Loch Lomond.
I know where to go. I've wanted to do an investigation there since 1999.
Wow.
Actually, I've never actually got there until how long ago was that, Doug? 2 years ago?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, a friend of the family took me to the spot and told me the story, and I only knew, everything's hearsay, right? And she told me the actual story, and I was absolutely blown away from what I had heard to what actually took place from someone, who was friends with, directly with the family that it happened to, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Doug.
Poor Heather's just sitting there now going, they're
Oh my
keeping me out of the
God.
loop here. I hate this. I hate all this.
I-
This is a terrible
No
way to
idea
interview
what's
someone,
going
Jason.
on.
Yeah.
This is a terrible way to interview
I feel like
someone.
I'm gonna be a guinea pig. What the heck is going on here?
Yeah. Well, you said you wanted dark and creepy, Heather. So guess what?
I do. I love it.
We're gonna
I
find
won't
some.
I won't say what it is, but there's a pretty famous movie where they say red rum, and then put house at the end of it. But switch the words around.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
It's a
we'll fill
pretty
you in.
we'll fill you in.
Yeah.
It's a
I'll
pretty
tell
incredible
you.
spot.
Yeah. I'll tell you the whole story offline.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
I can't wait. Yeah, Doug. I
know.
didn't think I said that.
Can't
I had
wait.
to mention it. One of these Zoom podcasts, I was going to mention that place.
It's gonna
Or
happen.
you were. One of us was going to say it.
There's too many cool spots, and that's what we could do a whole thing just on even spots we've been to.
Oh, I know.
All right. We got 10 minutes.
Awesome.
Informed by Zoom.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, Doug, the good thing is well, the interesting thing, it would be what I pick up without you guys filling me in on too much. And then, what you can correlate with what I pick up at these locations. So how Charlene and I met was her house was extremely active, and I didn't know her from Adam, and I went in to do her house. So that's kind of cool story how we met.
Mhm.
Anyways, her house was full of, well, she had Hat Man there, she had multiple spirits, entities there. Anyways, so I've been there a couple different times investigating in the early days and helping her out. And one of those times, Amanda was with me, and she was doing a spirit box, and I was in one of the other bedrooms upstairs. This is an old Victorian house, probably built in late 1800s. And I was in another room and I heard a name said to me, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now, but I walked across the hall and into the other bedroom where Amanda was and had her spirit box running. And I said, Amanda, I would just ask and see if there's someone by the name of this here. And she asked for it and then got a response back in the spirit box repeating, yes, I am so-and-so. So, which correlated what I was getting. And then they said it with,
Wow.
So that was cool. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot because we haven't done a lot of investigations and, because COVID and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
probably a year and a half, 2 years now, we haven't done any major investigations. So
Well, we shut down God since when, Jason? summer of maybe October of 2019.
We've only done a couple small
A
ones.
couple, yeah.
Yeah, Brandon and I got out. But Heather, your story of how you met Charlene is way cooler than the story of how Doug and I.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that.
No, it's
How
okay.
did
So
you meet?
here's how it is. I worked for Scottsburn Dairy here in Sydney,
Okay.
and I was there for 17 years or whatever. Anyway, it's one of the stores that I would fill in occasionally at was Superstore. So Doug was the back shift manager. So,
No, assistant grocery store manager. Jamie was the back shift.
Okay. I didn't know. See, I didn't know you.
Yeah, exactly.
He was,
just in case Jamie watches it, he'll be like, just in case Jamie watches, he might be like, hey, now.
He was Heather, he was just the guy who, it was like, I get up at like 5 a.m. I would be there at 5:30 in the morning, about 6 coffees deep by 6 o'clock.
Oh my God.
I would, not really, but I would ring the buzzer. And Doug would let me in, and we'd say, hey man, how you doing? And that would literally be it. And then I think, years passed and Facebook came along, and I think I posted something paranormal-ish, and Doug private messaged me. He's like, hey, you into that stuff? I was like, yeah. You into that stuff? Yeah. Want to make a group? Yeah, let's do it. That was pretty much it. There was zero haunting, it wasn't cool like you and Charlene meeting.
Not even close.
Doug didn't say, my house is really haunted. Want to come up with some stuff and we'll check it out? No.
They were like, what are we going to do for gear? And I was like, I have a visa. I'll put it on my visa.
Where are we going to go? I don't know. Let's just drive to Blackett's Lake and see what happens. And it just so happened that we got one of our coolest EVPs the very first night.
I couldn't believe it.
Insane. You can
makes you wonder if we didn't get that EVP, would we be as crazy about it as we are? Probably, but that really pushed it, right?
Yeah. And that was within the first half an hour. And you watched the video on YouTube of my reaction.
It is pretty funny.
So I was like, my head just cocked and I looked at Doug and I was like, did that really just happen? But yeah.
I'll make the link for that then. I need to watch that.
Oh, I'll tag you in it. I'll put it on the page. But like, and it's good to be a skeptic too. And we're skeptical of everything.
Oh, big time.
We have to disprove. If we can disprove it, let's disprove it. But on the first night, when we have the spirit box going and you're hearing all the local radio stations, and I said, do you know where you are? And a man replied, Blackett's Lake, almost immediately. And so wow. And I'm saying to people who have said, yeah, that could have been the radio or someone was watching you. I'm like, that's not how the spirit box works.
No.
It's scanning. And what are the odds that someone on the radio?
Millisecond.
Exactly. So what are the odds that someone on the radio said Blackett's Lake right after I asked the question?
Yeah.
0 to -1 million. That's,
that would be over a couple stations,
That's there. I think
at
we
least
have
2 stations, if not 3 stations.
Yeah. Doug, what do we have? 3 or 4?
Oh God. Well, it depends. We were scanning in what? FM?
Exactly.
So what? 2? 2 or 3?
The 94.9, the Giant, and 98.3.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
I think there might be another one.
Actually, 98.3 is AM, isn't it? I can't even remember.
It's FM.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
But I think there's only the 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyway.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned skeptical for us though, because when we first started, we were trying to get a medium to come with us. Remember, we'd ask every once in a while. Because people would ask us, how come you don't have a medium? And we never get one,
And Dawn Lee kept telling me, she said, they're looking for a medium. And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
And you were the first one that did it. And then, I'm not going to lie to you, until we met you and you did what you did. And then what you did for Joanne and everything, we were super skeptical. We were like, you know what? We'll take one with us. I don't believe any of this.
I knew that we were at Lewisburg and we were meeting up with people and things like that. And then they left some of the volunteers or the people that were participating that night, they left the building that we were in. And then all of a sudden you started quizzing me. It was like, I knew what you were doing. You're like, so what about this? And what about that? And what do you do with this? And what do you do with that? And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. Whatever questions you have, I'm an open book. I don't care. I got nothing to hide. So
no, it was just because we're skeptical, right? Like I'm a science guy. So I had to ask you, I'm still going to pick your brain. until you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's just, I wish there was a window. You move your hair a little bit. Hey, look inside there. I can see them all talking to her. It's real. But what you do seems to be pretty legit.
Yeah, I'm still pretty skeptical. Doug had his experience, but to be completely honest with you, I've never had any experience like that. I've always been too nervous to go, and I'm still very skeptical. But I am open to being proven wrong. I'm not like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. If something happens, I'll be like, holy crap, wow. And
Yeah.
I'm
the same way. I'm on the fence about stuff. I like to have a good, a good viewpoint of things and not be taken a fool, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Same.
I'm open to it.
Yeah. Well, then maybe I can find you some evidence, out of
you wait. Doug, it's going to happen. It's
like
going to happen. It's going to happen in Loch Lomond, and I'm going to retire the next morning.
I'm done. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm out.
that's it. Yeah, no, you proved me right, and I'm heading to Mexico.
I know one thing. I know Joanne will take another reading anytime you want to give her one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'll take one, but I'm scared. I think TV is ruining everything for me in movies. I assume if I get a reading, the first thing they're going to say is like, "You're going to die in a horrible car wreck next week."
That's like me.
I don't do that.
The tarot cards. There's people who always say, "Oh, read your tarot cards." I'm like, no, because I know the first card you're going to pull is death, and I'm going to be like, "See ya, bye."
So we have a minute and 35 seconds left.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is almost like a second episode.
Yeah.
It
is.
Yeah.
We only lost about
lucky.
7 minutes. Yeah. You got 2.
Yeah.
2.
I got 2.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming.
Oh, no problem.
We're looking very forward. We're looking very forward to dragging you to all kinds of places this summer if we can get to them.
and having you on this again multiple times.
You know how mad I was when we were up there for the thing at Glace Bay Museum, and I was like, where'd they go? They went on investigation. They went to Blackbrook without us. You're like, Craig.
Oh, did we? Did we not? Oh no, we couldn't find you.
You were still I thought you were still lined up though, like they were late.
I was still doing readings, so it ran late for me.
All right. Yeah. We're gonna get shut down here any second.
Cool. Yep. All right. Well, thanks again.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll be talking to you
guys.
Okay, thanks.
We'll make some plans.
Yes.
Cool.
Cheers. We'll be talking to you.
See you later.
Okay,
bye, guys.
See ya.